ברשותכם, להצגת האורח הבא שלנו לעבור לאנגלית. It's my great pleasure to introduce to you the main speaker from Google today, Mr. Scott Rubin. Scott has flown in from London especially for this event. He is the head of communications and public affairs for Google in Southern Europe, Eastern Europe, Middle East and Africa. Scott is Google's leading expert in child protection globally and has led Google and YouTube's policies in this area over the past few years. But perhaps most importantly, Scott is a proud father of a gorgeous 10-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter. Scott, it's a pleasure to have you here. The floor is yours.
Shalom, Boker Tov. That's the extent of my Hebrew. Well, I know a little bit more. My mom would be very proud that I'm here trying to speak a little bit of Hebrew after years of Hebrew school, which I ignored. I'm sorry for that. When Doron called and asked me to come to Tel Aviv to work on this event and announce the launch of our new Family Safety Center, I was incredibly excited not only for the chance to come to Israel, just for me and despite living in London, as you can tell, I'm an American. As an American Jew coming to Israel for the first time, sorry Mom, it took so long to get here, but also because Israel is one of the most connected and internet savvy countries in the world. And the fact that there are so many Israelis of all ages online all the time means that we as Google have a particular responsibility to help our users in Israel have a particular kind of experience, the experience that they want to have online. So I'm really excited to be here today to help make that happen. As Doron said, I'm a father, and that is really one of the main reasons that we at Google do things like this, not just because I'm a father, but because at Google we put our users first. It's kind of an easy thing to say, users first, but it's, in our case, incredibly true. Whenever we're designing a product, whenever we're thinking about what we're going to do next, whether it's Android or the recently announced Google+, our product designers, our engineers, policy people, communications people get together in a room and we first ask ourselves what's best for our users. And when we're thinking about safety of kids or younger users online, we think about ourselves as parents first. So that's where this is coming from, and that's the origin of the Safety Center, is what did we need as users, as parents, to help our kids have the best experience they could have online. We also, as a company, feel a high level of responsibility to give our users control over what they do on our products and services, what they do online. We think that people make better choices when they have more information rather than less information. And there's music. We know that free expression, which is at the heart of what we do, giving people access to information, we know that it also has its limits. Sometimes those limits are in the areas of child protection. Sometimes those limits are in the area of other kinds of speech that might be illegal in certain places. But wherever we can, we provide as much access to information as possible, and we give users control over what that means. So today, I'm here to talk to you about a couple of ways that we give you choices over your experience online, and then to give you a glimpse into the new Family Safety Center, where you'll find all of this information gathered in one place. When we talk about keeping kids safe online, we're really talking about just a couple of key areas. The most important area is bullying. In surveys around the world in different countries, cyberbullying is reported as the #1 issue that young people face online. More than sexual predators, which gets a lot of press. The truth is that yes, there are sexual predators out there online. Most kids know what to do about that. That is not the biggest issue, despite the big headlines around it, because one child being harmed by one person is a major story, a great tragedy. But in terms of numbers and data, sexual predators are not the #1 threat. It's bullying from other kids. Sorry? What is bullying? When kids, when people are hurting other people online, saying mean things. Yeah? Clear? Okay. So that's what bullying means. When the people are saying mean things to other people, harming them. There's a very famous case in the United States of a young girl, a 13-year-old girl who thought she was having a conversation with a 16-year-old boy. And she thought she was having a relationship with this boy through a social network. And then suddenly he turned very mean and started saying terrible things about her. And when you're 13 or 14, having a 16-year-old boy say mean things about you is the most devastating thing that can happen to you. One of the things this boy said to her was, "Why don't you just go and kill yourself?" And she did. And it turned out that the boy was another 13 or 14-year-old girl across the street and her mother who had pretended to be this boy and harmed this child, and she ended up killing herself because she thought that she was being embarrassed in front of her friends. That's bullying. It doesn't always reach those extremes, but cyberbullying is a major threat online to other kids. So one of the reasons we do this is to give kids some information, parents information, encourage a conversation so that kids don't get hurt inadvertently. They don't get hurt by other people saying mean things to them. We help them know that they can control their own experience online. The other big area where there is, where I think parents, certainly for me, think about their kids online is exposure to content that parents, teachers, other responsible adults would prefer that their kids not see. Usually that's sexual content, but not always. Some things are simply inappropriate for kids, but they're fine for adults. So when we design our products, we think about how do we give adults access to the information that they want, but also give them control so their kids don't have that information. So one of the main ways we do that is through safe search on Google. On web search, we have a tool available called Safe Search where you can choose not to have any filtering at all, so you see the internet in its raw, untouched, unfiltered state. The only things we remove from web search in an unfiltered state is child pornography, which is illegal in almost every country in the world, and websites that might harm your computer, that have things like spyware, malware. Other than that, and copyrighted material if we're not allowed to link to it. Other than material that is illegal like child pornography and copyrighted material and malware, the unfiltered web with no safe search is yours to explore as you wish. But for me, as a parent, that's not what I want for my children. So the normal setting on Safe Search is what we call moderate. It's the middle setting, where if you do a search on Google on Safe Search, you will not accidentally come across sexual videos or images. But for others, for me actually, when I think about my 10-year-old going online, I supervise him, but I turn on strict Safe Search. Strict Safe Search, I can lock it. He can't get around it. He's becoming very, very clever online. He can't get there, and I block out not only images and videos, but websites that might be sexually explicit. So we've been asked if we could include violence in that, and it's a really tough problem. How do you identify through technology what is violent content? We're working on it, but we have no solution yet. So right now, Google Safe Search, one of the main tools that you can use if you are responsible for a child to keep inappropriate content out of their hands. Another really important tool for us, and probably the site that most younger people go on, is YouTube. YouTube, 48 hours of content are uploaded to YouTube every minute of every day of the year. Think about that for a second. 48 hours worth of film uploaded every minute to YouTube around the world. It would take thousands of lifetimes to watch all the film that's being uploaded there, and some of it is inappropriate. Now, YouTube, different from web search, is a platform that we own, as opposed to reflecting the web. We have certain rules on YouTube. They're called community guidelines. They're the rules of the road. They describe what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. When you see a video on YouTube that you think is inappropriate, we give you the power, this is your control, to flag it. Let us know that you think it breaks our rules. We review all flagged videos very quickly, usually in under an hour, and we will either remove it if we think it breaks our rules, and those rules are much stricter than on web search. We will let it alone if we think it doesn't break our rules, or we might put something called an age restriction or an age gate on that video. That means that you must be signed into YouTube, having signed in with a birth date showing you are over 18 to see that. That's a way for parents to know that kids going online are not necessarily going to stumble across things they don't want to see. Now, one of the other additional tools we have on YouTube is called the safety mode, where I as a parent can lock a safety mode on YouTube, and that will automatically filter out any videos for over 18s and any videos that our technology sees as possibly having inappropriate content. And I can go into the detail of the algorithm for those of you who are really technologically focused, but not up here because you'll all fall asleep. Finally, the last area where we have tools is our recently announced Google+, our foray into recognizing that the web has become more social. On Google+, I think you'll see some of our most advanced safety features for controlling your experience online. We ask your permission and remind you every step of the way on Google+, our new social effort, about who you want to share information with. Oversharing is a big problem for younger people. The sense of what is private and what's not private has drastically changed for the younger generation, where for my generation, I don't have to share any information publicly anywhere at any time if I don't want to because I have it on paper. Kids growing up now online assume that they should be sharing everything or most things online, and a lot of social networks facilitate that. On Google+, we allow you to choose exactly where to share information, ask you permission, remind you of when you're doing that. We also have an age screen on Google+, and if you are under 13, you cannot create a Google account and you cannot use Google+. If you show a birth date between 13 and 17, then we automatically set up certain content that you can see and certain content that you cannot see. And once you've set that, you cannot change it. It's something automatic that we do behind the scenes and it can't be changed. We know that these are just early steps. We know that no technology, no filter is 100% solid. There is no substitute for adult supervision when kids are going online. I know a fair amount about what goes on the web, and I don't let my children who are under 13 go online without an adult in the room. There's just no substitute for it, even with Safe Search on, even with safety mode enabled, not because I think that the technology doesn't work at all, but because I know that there's no better filter than me. And so one of the things that I'm hoping you'll walk away with from here is the importance of a partnership. Keeping younger people safe online is a partnership between industry, the things we're announcing today, groups like Eshnav, and others who have partnered with us, government, as we heard from the member of Knesset before me, and other people who care about what goes on the web. None of us can do it alone. You can't rely on technology by itself, but it's a good tool to help you get there. Finally, our latest addition to the tools that we offer you is our new Family Safety Center. The Family Safety Center is a one-stop shop to help kids learn how to use the web safely and responsibly, to give parents, teachers, and other responsible adults resources, because we know that kids at some point tend to know more than their parents online. Parents and teachers hesitate to try to teach, to try to parent once their kid opens up the laptop and goes online. Good parenting is good parenting, whether it's online or off. There is no reason for adults to stop being responsible for the welfare of their kids the moment somebody logs on to the internet. And the Family Safety Center is our effort to gather in one place information to help you help your kids make responsible and practical choices online. So what kinds of things will you see? And we'll have a demo of it in just a minute. Doron will come up and show you what it looks like. You'll see practical tips from our initial partners, Eshnav, the Israel Internet Association, and the Israel National Council for the Child. It's just the beginning. We'll see more people coming on with more tips. You'll see information on the safety products that I just mentioned. You'll be able to go to links to tell you how to use Safe Search, how to enable safety mode, what do you do if you see inappropriate content on any of our products. And you'll also see, and this is one of my favorite parts, videos from other parents like me at Google talking about what they do at home. Everything from one parent that I know in the US who demands that her teenage daughters hand their mobile phones to her every few days in a surprise visit, and she looks at what they have, to other parents who do things like give their kids a project online, plan a trip for us, plan an excursion, go online, and they learn about the fun side of the internet, how to search safely. So you'll find all kinds of tips on there. I'd like to invite Doron up to show you a little bit about it, and then I'll come back on and talk just a bit more after.
אוקיי, אז כמה מילים. אתה יכול להעביר רק את המסך? תודה רבה. כמה מילים על מרכז בטיחות המשפחה, זה יהיה קצר, אנחנו מקווים שאחרי הכנס אתם תיכנסו בהמוניכם. האתר נמצא תחת www.google.co.il, Family Safety, וכמו שאתם רואים הוא ערוך בצורה מאוד נוחה לשימוש, ובעצם יש בו מספר חלקים. חלק אחד הוא עצות משותפים, וכאן חברנו למספר שותפים, אשנב, איגוד האינטרנט הישראלי והמועצה הלאומית לשלום הילד, שנתנו עצות ותובנות בנושאים שונים, החל מהקטנת הסיכון לפגישה של בזרים ברשת, דרך מניעת מידע של חשיפה אישי רב מדי ונושאים מהסוג הזה. עוד תוכלו למצוא, כמו שסקוט ציין, טיפים בנוגע לנושא מסרטונים של הורים בגוגל, כן, זה נראה מוכר. אנחנו נראה את הסרטון הזה בהמשך. האתר גם הוא מקום ללמוד יותר על כלי הבטיחות של גוגל, שעליהם דיבר סקוט. תוכלו למצוא כאן כיצד להפעיל את חיפוש בטוח, כיצד לנעול את חיפוש בטוח, וכללנו גם סרטוני וידאו, אתם יכולים לראות כאן, סרטוני וידאו בעברית, סרטוני אנימציה חביבים, שמקווה שיעזרו לכם להפעיל את הכלים האלה, וגם את מצב הבטיחות של יוטיוב, גם כאן יש סרטון וידאו שאני מציע לכולכם לראות אחר כך. עוד נמצא באתר דיווח על ניצול לרעה. כמו שאתם יודעים, יש הבחנה מאוד ברורה בין מנוע החיפוש של גוגל לבין אתרים שבהם אנחנו מארחים תוכן. האתרים שבהם אנחנו מארחים תוכן הם יוטיוב, באז, פיקאסה, בלוגר, והאתרים האלה יש להם מדיניות לגבי התוכן, ואם אתם מוצאים תוכן שהוא בלתי הולם, אתם יכולים להיכנס למקום הזה שהוא בעצם נקודה אחת שמרכזת את הכל ולראות כיצד לדווח לנו על תכנים כאלה, ואנחנו נטפל בהם בהתאם לכללי המדיניות שלנו. אני רוצה גם להראות משאבים נוספים. כאן קיבלנו עזרה מצוינת, יוצאת מן הכלל ממתח, ממסתדרות המורים, שותפים חשובים שלנו, וגם משותפים אחרים שכבר ציינתי. ואתם יכולים לראות מידע נוסף, גם לילדים וגם למחנכים, שממש מאפשר להעמיק יותר בתוכן, להעביר שיעור לכיתה, לשחק משחק עם הילד וכן הלאה. אנחנו מקווים להכניס חומרים נוספים, וזה הזמן, אם מישהו באולם יש לו תכנים מעניינים, אני אשמח לשמוע. ויוזמה חדשה שאנחנו נדבר עליה בסוף היום, דובר כאן על איך גורמים לעסק הזה לעבוד, איך משכללים את הגישה לנושא של גלישה בטוחה ולחינוך לגלישה בטוחה. אז היום, בסוף היום, אנחנו נכריז על פרויקט שומרי מסך שלנו, שבו אנחנו נקרא לבני נוער בגילאים 16-17, עולים כיתות י' י' להצטרף אלינו. אנחנו נמצא 200 בני נוער שפעילים במעגלי השפעה נרחבים. נכשיר אותם יחד עם שותפים ואנשי מקצוע כדי להגיע אחר כך לאותם בני נוער וילדים, להשאיר אותם בתובנות שלהם, ללמד על היופי של האינטרנט, על הסכנות באינטרנט, ואיך אפשר להפוך את האינטרנט לסביבה בטוחה יותר. עוד על כך בסוף היום. תודה רבה.
Thank you, Doron. So in conclusion, I want to remind you that this is just one more step along our long-running path towards giving you more control over what you do online, our effort to teach kids how to make good choices when they're there. But I want to ask your help in something. At Google, when we launch a product, when we create a new service like this, we have a philosophy that sometimes succeeds and sometimes fails spectacularly, of launching something as early as we can, learning from what works, learning from what didn't work, and then doing it again and again and again. So I'd like your help. This is our first step. You see that there are videos on here of some Google parents. We are going to be adding content to this site, both from partners, child safety organizations, educational organizations, but also from other people, including people in this room. We'll be setting up a YouTube channel where you can add your own videos about your own experiences online in response to the Google Parent videos. So you'll see that linked to from this page. So please go on to the site, see the videos, add your own, talk about what works for you. If you are one of the younger people in the room that I see back in the back, add your video to help those of us who are a little bit older than you learn what we should know about your experience online. We know that kids know a lot more than we do about the internet, but we as the adults know a lot more about life than they do. So parents and teachers, don't be afraid. If you don't know the technology, you still know more than they do. Kids, please help us learn what we need to know so that we can help you make better choices. Thank you very much.